Yo, 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 yo. Yo, yo. What's good with it? It's the homie MACK. Music, art, culture, knowledge. Each one teach nine. Each one teach nine. Reporting live from the Dogon. You know what it is. Session of MACK Minutes. Yeah, so the last MACK Minutes I did, it was in response to a tragedy. It was in response to a mass shooting that took place in Buffalo, New York. Here we are with another tragedy. There was a mass shooting in Uvalde, Texas. Actually, elementary school. I think there were 21 victims, 19 of which were children. No words. No words for innocent children being murdered. What do you say about that? So apparently, I don't even want to name the shooter. RIP to all the babies and the teachers that stood in the gap for the babies to try to protect them and that did protect the ones that survived. God bless those teachers. Moment of silence for all those lives that were lost. Yeah, this took place in Uvalde, Texas, at Robb Elementary School. The gunman had purchased two AR-15s a week after his 18th birthday. Apparently, before he got to the elementary school and unleashed this carnage, he actually had killed his grandmother. Grandfather, I'm supposed, from what it sounds like, he actually lived with his grandparents. And they said they had no knowledge of him, even purchasing two AR-15s. And I ain't gonna lie, it's hard keeping your eye on children. I mean, he had just turned 18, so he's an adult, but it's hard keeping your eye on everything that your progeny does, all their whereabouts, what they got going on. It's so easy. There are children out here that are living lives their parents don't even know about, and these are parents that actually care. These aren't parents that are just ignoring their children. It's hard as a parent. You want the best for your kids, a good parent at least, and you want to raise them. But between having to provide and just your own internal mental health, I mean, being a parent is no joke, man. Especially now in 22, the children have access to so much stuff quicker. Yeah, but that's not to make an excuse for what happened. There is no excuse for what happened. There is no justification. I am not an apologist for mass murder. And by standards, there hasn't been an agreed upon metric for a mass shooting. They say it's at least 3 or 4 victims. That's what I've consistently heard. But yeah, the question comes up again: gun control. I remember somebody asked me earlier today, they were like, what do you need an AR-15 for? What does a person need an AR-15 for? My response, they need an AR-15 to protect themselves from people who have bad intentions with AR-15s. I am pro-gun rights, gun control. Let me say that. I don't want to say necessarily gun control. I am pro-Second Amendment, I guess, ultimately. I think there are no laws for the lawless. History has shown us if people want to kill people, if people want to murder, they will do it, irrespective of policy, irrespective of laws. People will kill people indiscriminately. Not gonna blame this on mental health, none of that. We live in a very violent culture. America was literally built off of violence and entrepreneurship. Shout out to Dear Grace. America was built off of violence and entrepreneurship. A lot of the laws that were amended in the Constitution are created from the impetus of this country. It was created by criminals who knew how criminals act, so they created these laws. Manifest destiny. My gun is bigger than yours. Do I agree with it? Do I think might is always right? No, I don't. But the bottom line is there's some people you cannot have a productive dialogue with. They are just violent and they have their minds set on being violent, irrespective of what you say. I think there was this proverb, I think it was a Japanese proverb. They said the only thing that good men must do is to become better at violence than bad men. Makes sense to me. I think people should bear arms. People should be allowed to protect themselves. Again, I'm not the biggest Hillary Clinton fan, but she did say something that really resonated with me. She said, you can never create policy that will completely curb human behavior. On the flip side of that, you got people say, oh, so you just don't think we should do anything at all? No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that people are going to do whatever they want with their free will, and people need to take measures to protect themselves. I don't know what the security was like at Robb Elementary. I don't. They said he got over some guardrails. He had the military tactical vest. I don't know how he was able to just kind of slide through the defenses. But unfortunately, it happened. Again, there's no law for the lawless, and I feel like ultimately, these laws are gonna, if we're creating laws where we're taking people's guns away, it kind of reminds me of what Huey Newton said. Huey Newton said, "A society without guns is subject to slavery at any moment." And I think that's legit. That's a legitimate stance. No, I don't like violence, but it's just it's our society is so culturally sick. We will sit here, watch Rambo, watch westerns, watch Marvel films, people getting their heads ripped off, people getting shot, people getting stabbed. America, we not only that, but we will venerate violent people. Look at the war generals that we've had: George Washington, Douglas MacArthur. Like we venerate violent people in our culture, and then when violence happens, people want to have this moral compass, like, oh my gosh, and it's just weird to me. Like, we are a culturally sick society. We celebrate violence. We're entertained by violence. We venerate violence, and then when violence happens, it's like, oh my gosh, how could it? It's like you celebrate it. You're entertained by it. I mean, our culture is literally. Western American culture is literally is steeped in violence. I mean, the first gun I saw in person, the first time I had a gun put on me, I was 9 years old. First time I actually saw a gun was Elmer Fudd. He had the pistol, he had the shotty. It's like, all right, I mean, it's ubiquitous throughout our culture. It's literally, violence is a binary of American culture. What would America be without violence? It was fun. It was founded off of violence. My gun is bigger than yours. Get down or lay down. That's the American way. Don't agree with it, but it is what it is. That is our track record as a nation. That is our culture. That is our history. Again, I think the thing that's scary is it's easier to get your hands on an illegal gun. It's so easy. Like, I live in Atlanta. I live in the black market capital for guns. A lot of people from up north, they come down here and buy their guns. A lot of people down here are gun runners. A lot of those pistols that you find up north, they come from the south. You know what I'm saying? And it's just, I do think, I think if you're mentally ill, you're not allowed to own a firearm. Let me look it up. If you're mentally ill, give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. If you're mentally ill, let me see. If you're mentally ill, you're not allowed to own a firearm. Certain criminals are not allowed to have firearms. And illegal aliens are not allowed to have firearms. 92 gun deaths occur every day within the U.S. Of those convicted of homicide, 41% had a prior felony conviction. 71% had a previous arrest. This is according to Chimes. Let me read some more statistics. We've had, as of 22 this year, we've had 27 school shootings. 27. 73% of school shooters had no prior arrests or criminal records. 81% of school shootings where someone had 81% of school shootings where someone had information prior to the attack. So some people had prior knowledge and didn't say anything. 68% of school shooters got their weapons from relatives or their home. This most recent shooter, he bought his legally. And that's the thing, somebody let me know, what policy do we need to implement? Because again, if someone wants to kill you, they're going to kill. So the only thing I know to do, and for only recourse I know for people is to be armed. I believe in Kennesaw, Georgia, you can't even be You can't be a homeowner unless you own a firearm. You know, when's the last time you heard about a shootout at a gun range? I just think, you know, and I'm not saying things don't need to be regulated. I'm just saying people need to have a means of protecting themselves. I'm saying that, you know, I feel like a lot of times there's no law for the lawless. The criminals are going to do what they're going to do, and I don't want the general public just to be sitting ducks. I agree with constitutional carry. I own 2 guns. I own a rifle. I own a gun. It's not even about I want to be tough. None of that. I just want to be able to protect myself. I don't want to, you know, get down or lay down on nobody. You know, I just think that everybody should be able to protect themselves. Let's see, what else? 72% of U.S. citizens have said they fired a gun. 67 people own guns for protection. 38% of people own guns for hunting. 30% of people own guns for shooting for sport. 13% just want it as a part of their collection. 8% just want to have it at their home for adornment. 8% that is. 44% of U.S. adults say they personally know someone who has been shot either accidentally or intentionally, which is 3 in 10. With 44%. 3 in 10 adults say they own a gun. I guess I'm frustrated, and I get it. People are saying, "Oh, you know, I'm done with the thoughts and prayers." But you know, a criminal psychology is a criminal psychology, irrespective of what laws you put in place. Like, and I know people say, "Well, the percentage will be lower." You know, if we have more gun laws, but it won't matter if you're if you're ever a loved one was in that percent of people that died. I don't care if it's been curbed. My loved one just died. So all I'm saying is, people need to protect themselves. I definitely think there needs to be tighter regulation. I think people should at least have background. Well, you have background checks when you buy a gun. So, but I think maybe a mental evaluation should be taken. You know, things like that. I'm not just saying like anybody should just be able to get a gun at whenever they want. I do think it needs to be regulated. Things need to be put in place. But some people don't care about consequences. They're still gonna do what they're gonna do. This is a tragedy. And I guess I don't know like what measures are in place where this doesn't happen again. You know, I know a lot of the black schools, I hate to say it, a lot of the inner city schools, we have metal detectors, all this. I mean, you know, it's unfortunate, but we may have, some of these other schools, they may have to do the same, have metal detectors. You know, I can't even imagine what it's like to lose a child, especially by violence. You know, I just really hope God gives peace and grace to the parents of the victims and just the victims, the loved ones' victims. You know, the victims of the loved ones, that God would just give them peace, man, because it's ineffable. How do you console someone whose child was murdered? Like, there's no young child was murdered. Like, what do you say? But yeah, I just think you know, the issue is the human heart. You know, why are we so violent? What drives us to violence? Why do we feel the need to enforce our will on other people and be violent? Why? Why does the human psychology work like that? Why are some people strictly, you know, on survival mode, get down, lay down, I'm gonna take what's yours? Like, why? But it's the homie MACK. I don't even know what to say, man. It's, you know, gun control is such a polarizing issue. I wish we all could get along, but biologically humans don't work like that. Signing out from the Dogon is the homie MACK. Like, share, comment, subscribe, thumbs up, give me the likes, thumbs up, give me the likes. Peace and love. I'm out.